As you should. You should have a pornographer named Larry Finn.
No.
Yeah. No, that's how the band got funding. They couldn't get a label, so they worked for a pornographer. Who's a dude who's not he's not in a wheelchair because he had any kind of like stroke or anything. He's in a wheelchair because he doesn't have a lower trunk.
No, he's in a wheelchair because he's morbidly obese, obviously.
No, he's morbidly obese and he's a mutated fish person. He doesn't actually have legs.
Oh, that's like a third issue reveal or a fourth issue reveal.
Yeah, like he you know they
Can I end it now?
The show or your life?
They stagger into his office unbidden. One of the times he doesn't have the blanket covering his lower trunk, and he's being serviced by, coked out supermodels. Because of course Larry Flynn can afford coked out supermodels despite being a mutant.
I mean, I'll take the coked out supermodels, man. But boats and hoes, baby.
Boats and hoes, ladies and gentlemen. That's the message of the show.
Relay except for a boat.
This is the most Church of Comics ever, which is appropriate for.
Speaking of which, let me go get my whiskey.
Show.
Based on the pre-show, I might not have enough whiskey left.
Aw, shit.
How long does it take to ferment apples?
Well, it depends. You want to use antifreeze?
Yes. Always. Alright, let's do the proper intro.
There is a sixth dimension beyond that which is known to man. A multiverse as vast as infinity, as timeless as the Infinity Gems. It is the middle ground between the big two and the indie publishers, between sci-fi and mysticism, and it lies between the pages of the reader's imagination. At the summit of entertainment, the dimension of comics, where a humble service is held. We call this service the Gospel of Comics.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Just for you, just for the 2-year anniversary, we are not only late, gay, and muted, but we have also taken care of our tech issues within the first 5 minutes of the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Gospel of Comics, where I am your host, the Church of Failure, and with me, as always, are my trusted co-hosts, Ayrton, McCartney, and RuneKnight. How are you gentlemen doing this afternoon?
Did you just say, how are you ladies and gentlemen doing?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
You fucking asshole.
I was going to ask, how can I fuck this up? But I clearly don't have to. We're already messing up.
You fuck.
You're already doing it.
Obviously, you can tell who the woman is by the one bitching in the background.
Look. Church is clearly already inebriated in preparation for the anniversary show, and he called me in to bring in compelling content.
In preparation for the show. How dare you?
Well, because I am the one with the disability that makes me walk funny, I'm going to assert that you can tell by my walk.
I'm the one with the disability that makes me walk funny. Alcoholism is a disease, sir. How dare you?
Alcoholism is a choice.
Not what my sponsor said. Anyway, how are you gentlemen doing this afternoon? Evening, whatever the fuck it is.
I'm doing good. I got some locally made whiskey lemonade cans.
Whiskey lemonade, or is it like
Yeah.
Twisted Tea? Can you hit people in the face with it?
No. It's more potent than that. But I'm on my last one already. I might have started too early.
A little too early
for this 2-year anniversary, but I'm doing all right.
All right. Well, we got Darb in the chat. Happy anniversary! Thank you, Darb. 2 years.
What about the crip over there?
Oh, RuneKnight. He's not drinking anything. How are you doing this evening?
No, I'm eating Jimmy John's. That's what I'm doing.
That's just like drinking.
Fuck, yeah. Yeah.
What you got? An Italian nightclub?
No, I got a number 5, which I believe is the Vito.
I usually go for the Turkey Tom.
And
Did you try their kickin' chicken, whatever the fuck?
I have not, because lately everything I eat has been giving me heartburn, so I'm trying to get away from the spicy.
Spicy
But
food giving you heartburn, that's a myth. I always eat spicy food and I never get heartburn.
Ayrton, you're not. Are you even 30 yet?
Next Tuesday, actually, a week from today, I turn fucking 30.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like after you hit that 30 bump, Ayrton, like it's over, buddy. Like the heartburn sets in, and it does not quit.
Don't
Hold
tell me that.
Hold up, Church. How old are you?
I am 35.
For real? Like not kayfabe 35, but actual 35?
Okay, I'm 33 and a half.
No, not double kayfabe 33 and a half. Is that
No,
your
for
actual age?
real, yeah, 33 and a half is my actual age. I just say 35
I'm the
because
oldest-
it's easier.
So I'm the oldest person in this room?
How old are you, Larry?
I'm 44, turned 44 on the 16th.
You are, in fact, the oldest. I will be 39 on April 5th.
Yeah.
Wait, what? I thought you were like 19 or 20.
No!
Yeah, he thought I was the old fuck.
Wait. Hold the F up. You and I talked about a LARP organization.
Yep.
You and I were probably both in a LARP organization known for terrible decisions in the great state of Ohio around the same time.
That's besides the point. Larry, how old did you think I was?
500, obviously.
Oh, okay.
I expected Church to be also in his 40s.
I feel like I'm in my 40s. Does that count?
I mean, I'm sure you probably look like you're in your 40s because.
No, I look like I'm in my 50s. Fuck you.
I mean, I feel like I'm in my 60s.
Participation in the comics wars prematurely ages you. We all know this.
The secret comic wars.
God damn it.
Got it in there. Boom.
Unless you join the cult of Treebeard, because Alan Moore can give you immortality.
I hate you so much. Can we go the rest of the show without bringing up Necronomicon or Secret Wars?
No, absolutely not.
Hold up, we can mention how Grant Morrison thinks he's God. Would that be better?
What was that?
How Grant Morrison thinks he's actually God?
Grant Morrison can't be God. Zach Morris is God. Saved by the Bell. Anybody?
Grant Morrison takes us back to Alan Moore because Grant Morrison made a career off of trying to be Alan Moore.
Grant Morrison and Alan Moore are the same person. They just changed their name for tax purposes.
Without bringing up Alan Moore or Secret Wars, I will give each of you $7.
How about I give you $7 and just like PayPal you memo? Fuck you.
I'll issue you a refund.
What the fuck am I supposed to do with $7 in this economy, sir?
Right.
Buy a Jimmy John sub. That's what.
That's
that does
right.
not cover a Jimmy John sub.
It doesn't.
It really doesn't. Not with delivery. No.
Really?
No. You can get a foot long for that, but you got to make your ass up to Subway.
So in preparation for this show, I attempted to watch WandaVision, Stargirl, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I too took several narcotics. How was your experience with that?
I also attempted
back or like with breaks in between.
No, I attempted to watch
the narcotics or the shows.
The shows, and I also attempted to watch a single episode of The Mandalorian season 2.
It seems like you didn't succeed at watching any of this by the way you're talking.
It sounds like you hate yourself more than we do.
Well, I didn't watch a complete episode because they were all very boring, very formulaic. And like WandaVision, like I was watching, like saying, "Oh, you're doing an homage to all sorts of sitcoms."
Well, kind of. Like once you get mid-season, like shit starts to get weird and interesting.
No. I actually fast forwarded through several episodes. We're gonna get there. So it's like, oh, so you're doing an homage to sitcoms to talk about trauma theory. You know, the thing that everybody talks about, to act like they have depth to their writing when they really don't, because they don't have any life skills or experience to have anything
No, it's
interesting
because
to
they
say.
took first year psychology and
No,
while they were in
no.
college.
Like, you actually have to go to like second or third year to get into trauma theory. I mean, but there are some danger hairs. I'll tell you about that. So, like, yeah, it was really boring because it was all about trauma theory, and like everybody with trauma theory, it's like, oh, there's all this deep trauma that's making the character do this terrible, inexplicable thing, but we're not actually gonna say anything meaningful about what that means.
Calm down, Freud.
And this reminded me of a great quote by G.K. Chesterton.
Well,
Let me just pull that quote up right now.
While you're pulling that up,
there are no uninteresting things, only uninteresting
he's not even going to let me get in there, is he?
Sorry. I just got the quote up while you getting that quote up. So,
well, the thing is, like, I don't think WandaVision has a goddamn thing to do with trauma theory in the grand scheme of things. I think they work that in.
It does.
Hold on.
No, it 100% does.
Let me get there.
Okay.
I think they work that in as a plot element, but I mean, in the whole grand scheme of things, I don't think that trauma theory was what you were supposed to take away from WandaVision.
It 100% was. That was literally the beginning justification in episode 1, all the way to the ending in episode 9, and all through the middle. Everything Wanda did was motivated by that, and they had touchstones in every episode.
No, because see, the thing is, if it was supposed to be what you took away from it, the character would actually have growth. She had no growth.
No. These people who write about trauma theory in comics and TV and movies don't understand how to write growth from trauma theory.
Yes,
they want you to focus on trauma. There is an exception.
We're agreeing. You're just disagreeing with me on principle. And you got to throw the principle out the window.
No, we're not agreeing. We're not agreeing.
Seriously,
we are agreeing.
Psychologists?
No, we're not.
They're the fucking worst.
No, we're not, because that's what you're supposed to take away from it. But they don't understand how to make it meaningful. There's only been one attempt that's actually been successful at that, and that was Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is the only time that they focused on trauma theory where the characters actually had a character arc through their trauma.
Are you talking about the show or the comics? Because I'd agree with you if you're talking about the comics.
It's actually the show. They had a character arc where they got through their trauma.
But they didn't have Danny the Street, goddammit.
No, they did. No, they did. He was in the show.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was he the street or was he the ambulance?
He was a literal street.
Okay.
And he was
I gotta watch this show now. One of my favorite comic characters is on Doom Patrol.
And it was Brendan Fraser's comeback.
Oh, that explains why he hasn't gotten any more work since.
That was his comeback after his being shut out from the industry by suing the head of the Foreign Film Critic Association for trying to rape him.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll happen.
Well,
that
and the abusively exploitative alimony he has to pay.
We're not going to talk about the R word right now on the 2-year anniversary show, are we?
I was talking about a divorce. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was talking about
he was talking about struggle snuggles.
Exactly.
Larry was talking about accusations that went to court.
No,
yes,
I
was talking about accusations that went to court.
Rapé, which is a Peruvian type of tobacco rolled into a cigar.
Oh, okay. No, he's talking about struggle snuggles, but we're going to use that word while we're on the YouTube channel.
Tom King is one of the big people who popularizes trauma theory in their work. And Tom King's characters never actually have any growth through their trauma.
Well, that's because Tom King spent most of his high school.
Issues?
Well, that's because he spent most of his high school years being called a little girl and doesn't know how to process it.
Well, I think it has to do with something that happened when he was in the CIA. Personally.
Wait, what?
wait.
Hold on, I gotta get my tin. No, hold up, I gotta get my tinfoil hat. Ayrton, stall.
I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions.
Quick, put the chemicals in the water.
Tom King in the CIA. What?
Well, no, I
is
mean,
it
Tom King
legitimate?
was
I
in the
think
CIA.
It is. I'm just asking questions.
Tom King was
Tom
putting
King-
fluoride in the water. That's
Tell
what you're
us
telling
about
me.
Tom King in the CIA.
I mean, why do you think all Tom King keeps focusing on superheroes who do something horrible and have severe depression from it and post-traumatic stress?
'Cause
Are you
he's a
telling
little
me?
bitch.
I don't know for a fact that Tom King did something when he was in the CIA or saw something that
Has-
gave him post-traumatic
Has anyone
stress.
ever been in a dark room with Tom King before?
Yes.
I mean, I would not recommend it.
But I signed a paper that says I'm not allowed to talk about it. So
I just need to know if he glowed in the dark. Like, just nod or shake your head.
I've been letting you guys get this all out. I mean, letting you, spread the soil, as it were. So
Fling the shit. That's what he means. He means fling the shit.
So I can give the dissenting opinion.
Go ahead.
And it's twofold. One, I don't give a shit about Vision and Wanda. I really don't. Because I never did.
Okay.
Because as I have said on multiple Gospels of Comics now, for the longest time, the Avengers were second tier bullshit. Nobody's ever cared about Wanda and Vision. And because
Wanda, to be fair, Wanda has taken more of a center stage in the past decade than she ever had before as an Avengers because of the X-Men.
The thing is,
that
I was
for the
never
audience.
going to read House of M. Okay. I was never going to read any of the things that came out of House of M.
She was actually more significant before House of M.
Yeah, but my point is that that entire storyline is basically a retread of a Thanos story. Okay. And didn't matter. So when it's like, hey Joe, do you want to watch WandaVision? Sure, I'll check this out. And sight unseen without a comics background, it's okay. Okay. When presented with The Mandalorian, it's like, Joe, do you want to watch The Mandalorian? It's like, well, they can't do much worse than the sequel trilogy, right? And watching it, it's like, is it a spaghetti western? Sure. Is it a good spaghetti western? It's all right. It's the Lone Ranger. I can deal with the Lone Ranger. I like pulps.
Yeah, it's the Lone Ranger, but there's no Johnny Depp in sight, so it's actually decent.
No, actual Lone Ranger, the original Lone Ranger, the black and white, not any abortions by Disney trying to cash in.
You get what I'm saying, though. Like, you looked at The Mandalorian and you're like, at least there's no Johnny Depp, right?
Yeah, really. But my point is
Johnny Depp is going to be cast for season 3.
My point is that these programs, taken as they are, for what they are, it's just shows, are okay. If you are looking for better than bad, they are not terrible. Okay. On the other end of that spectrum, if we're going to start talking about what is the psychology and what is the import and the metaphor and so on,
what's the symbology here?
Yeah.
There is.
No, there isn't. And no amount of counter argument with text is going to make you right. And the reason is because
real quick, I gotta lay some ground.
To embrace this,
Rune, I gotta lay some ground rules just so we don't end up in another situation.
No,
keep
we're
it civil. Everybody keep it civil. No, I know. I'm laying down the blanket statement. Everybody keep it civil.
Because if we were to embrace this argument, okay, that it is trauma theory and that it is somehow new.
No, it's not new.
That this is the big thing. It's like, it's not. They've been doing it for years before this guy. They've been doing it for years long after this guy is gone.
Right, no, I'm not saying it's new.
In particular, I remember 3 series: Dollhouse, Dark Angel, and I've forgotten the other one, but basically 3 series, one right after the other, that all came out, that all have the same basic thesis, which is that a strong, independent female character had horrifying background, and that's why they are now a badass. But they don't understand people, and folks seem to think that is a deep, meaningful, creative storyline when it's not.
Hold up. You do also understand the deep backstory behind that shallow backstory, right? Why Elijah Dushku had all 3 of those shows?
I don't, and I don't care.
She was sexually molested on a Fox movie you might have known of called True Lies. So Fox Studios is part of a settlement with her family. basically
Hashtag me
greenlit
too.
a whole bunch of things that she was in.
Okay. That doesn't
So-
make the characterizations deeper
I'm
interesting.
not saying it makes those characterizations deeper. I'm saying that adds an extra layer of context.
Well, yeah, it adds some
How
context
shallow
as
that
to why
was.
they were terrible in the first place.
My
But
point
WandaVision,
is, though,
what I was getting at before we got completely off the rails, because I think Larry was actually
Yeah.
going somewhere, but we just completely dethroned it. But the thing is I agree that the overall premise of the show is to try and project trauma theory, but it fails miserably because the main character literally has zero growth throughout the entire season
Right.
until all of the growth in episode 9.
Right, but the
all
thing
I'm
is,
saying,
actually, I don't think she grows in episode 9 because she
Well,
doesn't face any consequences for her actions.
all I'm
right,
saying,
but Rune, go ahead.
all I'm saying is that we need to not take shallow corporate decision making and elevate it on a pedestal of artificial recognition while also denigrating it.
Well, hold
These
up.
people aren't smart enough to
Hold
go, let's use trauma theory.
Hold up. The corporations aren't making these decisions. They're just hiring people to produce content cheaply. And the people
Right.
they're hiring to produce content cheaply are saying, hey, I heard about this from somebody who's smarter than me. Let me try to make this into something I'm writing about.
It's not even that.
No, it is.
It's
It
not.
100% is.
No, what it is they're hiring people, and then those people are saying, okay, I gotta have an idea. What's trending? And that's what forces their hand, is what are the popular trends. TV is self-referential and self-repeating. So
But trauma theory isn't popular.
It is.
No, it's
by
not.
abstraction. No, they don't.
There's
they're
not a
they're-
popular
they're-
show that is centered around trauma.
because you're coming at it from the position of we're going to address trauma
No.
from a
No. That's not even my
angle.
point. That's
You-
not
no,
even my point.
Yeah,
That's
but
not even my point.
you're attributing to the television people that they're actually going to try and be accurate.
That's
They're
also
not.
not my point.
They're never going to actually be accurate.
That's not my
They
point.
want the artificial depth, but none of the acuity, because you
Right.
can't scare or insult people. So
Right.
they're going to be like, so if you say, well, what about trauma theory? It's like, no, we don't talk about trauma.
Well, no,
We never
they do.
talk about trauma.
They do.
No. I'm saying if you were in the writer's room and you sat down and you said, okay, guys, let's do a story about trauma theory, they would all say no.
No, they
say
it's about trauma theory in the interviews, and they talk about trauma in the shows repeatedly over and over and
After the
over and
fact.
over again. No,
After
They-
the fact, to justify their decision making, to
No,
make
they
themselves
do it
sound
before.
smarter.
they do it before.
No,
They do it before
you
the
just-
shows
no,
even
no,
get
We're
filmed.
we're gonna
You
agree to
said the
disagree
word.
here, gentlemen. We're gonna agree to disagree.
okay,
And
you said the
you've
word,
gone but I have
you
to go
said
back,
the
circle
word
back around to something
interviews.
important. I would go circle around to something
All
important
right.
that you said it was popular. None of these have been popular. None of these have been things that have been well liked. None of these have been things that have done
Not-
good ratings.
No,
None of these have been
it's
things that
not.
have been particularly profitable.
It is not that kind of popularity. We are not talking about popularity in product, not popularity in final release. Popularity in thought. It is popularly believed that this leads to depth and creativity. It is popularly believed that if you say these buzzwords in interviews, which are after the fact because the show has already been made, that you will artificially induce depth. They lie to themselves and convince themselves that these are actual things that are not real. And they consistently reinforce it because if they believe if they just say it enough times, it becomes so.
Again, as a counterexample to all of that, we could talk about a little guy you might have heard of called Benicio del Toro, who opened a
Okay.
movie about a fish man and a woman,
I
With the
swear to
woman-
God, I will
with
not
the
do.
woman boiling some eggs for her breakfast, and then she went to do something that is Freudianly metaphorical about her eggs, also in a body of water. That talked about trauma from an artistic and intellectual standpoint, but it didn't belabor trauma. It didn't nag on trauma, and the character had a bit of traumatic growth. So these are all
Are-
people who are hacks.
Are we talking about Lady in the Water, or what are we talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about Lady in the Water.
Or
We're
Color of Water.
The movie where the fish guy had sex with the woman.
Again, I will cut you.
Here's
So,
the
I
thing.
will cut you so many times.
That is the longest setup. That is the longest setup for a joke ever.
The thing is that you've already lost it by saying they approached it from an academia and an intellectual perspective. The average movie watcher doesn't have that. Doesn't care.
Right, but that's
They're
not
not aware
what
of it.
Benicio del Toro's about. Benicio del Toro's about his own art, and he approached it from that perspective for his enjoyment of his own art production.
You know what I think Benicio del Toro's about? Benicio del Toro is about doing a movie with Kevin Spacey to make
Not
money.
Benicio del Toro, I mean Guillermo del Toro, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Wrong del Toro.
Okay. Whoa. Yeah, hugely different context of people.
The wrong del Toro. Wrong del Toro.
Yeah, I thought we were talking. I thought we were talking about
right white supremacists.
I thought we were talking about Benicio del Toro, and I was like, okay,
No.
okay, the guy from Usual Suspects, I get it. He's not deep. He's an actor. And then,
No,
yeah,
Guillermo.
no. Guillermo, I will credit Guillermo del Toro is deep, but the thing is that is a position he has proved over time.
He's deep,
not
just
with
like
any
your
one
mother.
specific
Hey-o.
film.
But let's say you're somebody like Tom King.
My mother is in this channel, Ayrton. I can go get her. You want to make Smarmy talks to my mom for your anniversary? Would you like to enshrine in the 2-year anniversary of the Shoots of Failure my mother giving you a dressing gown for talking smack?
Please don't.
But let's say,
for once the rich white man has all the power.
But let's say you're a mediocre talent like a Brian Michael Bendis. Wouldn't you want to be somebody as deep and insightful and as artistic as Guillermo del Toro?
Sure.
Wouldn't you want to act like him and say things that you think he would say?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but he's as deep as George Bush's
The thing is
family
that
pool.
pretending to
Come
be
on.
smart and saying smart things does not translate, as I'm sure you would agree, to actually being able to handle those things.
Well, no, these people are hacks.
Nor does it actually translate to we actually even approach that object. Okay?
I mean,
Oh,
I think where we have our point of difference is you're saying it's not approaching the object because they're too stupid to know how to get there. I'm giving them credit for at least making an attempt, even though they fell on the front stoop of their porch and they're bleeding out on the ground.
See, I don't give them that credit because, by and large, I don't think they're even looking for that path. What I think it is that someone smart, a Guillermo del Toro, right, blazed that path once, proved it was profitable because the consuming audience is actually smarter than we give them credit when it's in the hands of a master, right? And then they all crowded together like a bunch of lemmings and said, walk this way, right off the cliff.
So you mean somebody like Alan Moore, for example?
Well, I mean,
God damn you.
who else told us that fish blowjobs were the way of the future?
All right.
Lay
off of Ayrton.
But no. Putting aside the jokes, though, whether you like the book or not, and I personally don't, right? Watchmen is a seminal classic. It is an important book in comics, right? And absolutely, a million mouth breathers followed him to replicate, but could never approach it, and they didn't even have the wherewithal to know what the book was about.
And
they
then then Zack Snyder made a shitty movie.
Yeah,
right. What a segue that is.
But
I was playing that segue too.
But that's the thing. That's the thing is, it's not that they read it, understood it, tried to copy it, and did it badly, but then spoke well of it, right? It's that they tried to copy it without reading it, without understanding it, right? So they took a narrative about power and impotence, right? And made it a narrative about being tactical and desaturated. Because it's the only facets they understood.
But yes, I actually planned, Ayrton, to use Alan Moore to segue into Joss Whedon, not Joss Whedon, Zack Snyder's Justice League movie.
Well, no, you have it right. You went to segue into Zack Snyder, and you got a face full of Joss Whedon instead.
Yeah, you got a nice facial.
I mean,
right there.
allegedly, Charisma Carpenter may have as well. Allegedly. See, it all ties together. It all ties together. But yeah, I saw Zack Snyder's Justice League, and
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some coffee, but I'm gonna give Larry the.
We'll still be yelling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't even have to be here for this.
No,
See, that's
you
the great
have to
part
be
about
here.
your show.
You
That's a great
must
part about your show.
absorb all of it. It is.
Oh, I'm gonna be
required.
listening. I'm just saying, I could do whatever I want to for the next like 20 minutes,
What?
as long as I keep my headphones in and step in every like 5 minutes or so.
What everyone can't see is they actually have Church tied down and his eyeballs forced open like Clockwork Orange.
With
And we're
toothpicks.
making him listen to this. Yeah.
So
How having my eyes open makes me listen, I'm not sure, but you know, we're working at it.
Don't question me, man. We obey the Levitico technique.
So what I enjoyed about Zack Snyder's Justice League most of all is you get to see how Warner Brothers Studio was the real villain in all this picture, because the movies are basically the same movie, almost identical. There's a few parts that are different, and those parts aren't super significant.
No, it's basically, as I said to several people, and I think off the air before we started, the difference between Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon is Joss Whedon is like having your dick cut off, and Zack Snyder is like having a hernia. They both suck, but one is significantly less sucky than the other.
Well, I was going to go into a little bit more details of the fundamentals here. So, like the major differences to save anybody out there the money to not pay Warner Brothers, because I don't recommend you give Warner Brothers the money for this, because basically they used the fact that Zack Snyder had a big personal trauma, left an unfinished movie, and then used the coof as an excuse to give him enough money to finish his original vision so that they could sell a product to make you go to HBO Max, which is a terrible streaming service that has almost nothing to watch on it. Less than other major streaming services. So you should not give them money. So I'm going to do a public service by telling you what's the difference between this and
just
Joss
go to
Whedon's
your
movie.
public library.
I mean, you could do that, but if you don't, I don't even think it's worth your time and effort to go to the public library to get it.
No, it's not.
So the major differences are Cyborg has a character, and his character not only makes sense, his character has something to do in the movie. Flash has a character. It's not a good character, but it's actually a character. His character not only has something to do with the movie, his character is the seminal piece in the whole movie that if he's not there, everybody dies. Everybody on the team has something to do, and not in the we have to give everybody something to do way. No, they have something to do that makes sense for their characters, makes sense for the story. Steppenwolf, the villain, he has a motivation. It's not a super good or interesting one, but it's better than what he had before. It's basically, you know, my boss is upset that I've not met my productivity figures for the year.
Yeah, it's like my boss is pissed, and I need to, like, you know, give him a reach around to make him happy.
Yeah,
it's essentially Steppenwolf's character arc, which is
at
better
least
than Joss Whedon's version, which is like, oh, I'm gonna conquer Earth.
But basically, Joss Whedon was told, listen, we need this to be more like a Marvel movie, so you need to make jokes that fit in the story that Zack Snyder wrote, and it needs to be 2 to 2.5 hours. I think Zack Snyder could have gotten his version of the movie to 2.5 hours if he didn't Zack Snyder so many scenes.
If you cut out every single unnecessary slow motion scene in Zack Snyder's version,
you easily cut a half hours. You easily cut a half hour to 45 minutes out of the movie if you've done that. And you could cut an hour of that movie and you wouldn't notice it.
Right.
But
like,
part of me wonders,
but then you'd still have a 3.5 hour fucking movie on your hands.
Well, no, it was like only 4 and some change.
Like really? Do we need 4-5 minutes of a slow motion scene of Aquaman taking his shirt off and jumping into the ocean?
Do we need
Like-
to see the arrow of Gondor flying for like a
Jesus
solid 20
fuck.
minutes?
Wait.
need to see that.
We're not bringing Peter Jackson and the Lord of the Rings into this.
Well, I mean, Zack
No.
Snyder did.
No.
We're not
He
bringing.
ripped off the Lord of the Rings.
We're not
several
bringing the Lord of
times.
the Rings into this. Like the Lord of the Rings can do no wrong. I will
No,
watch
I'm not
the
saying Lord of the Rings did
18-hour
wrong.
uncut extended edition of all 3 movies
No, I'm not saying it did anything wrong. I'm saying Zack
on
Snyder ripped off Peter
hallucinogenics
Jackson.
right now. If you guys
Yeah.
start fucking with Peter Jackson.
No, I'm saying Zack Snyder totally ripped off Peter Jackson in this movie.
Oh no, he did.
Oh well, fuck him.
That I have to know. That I have
Yeah,
to know
exactly.
for a fact. I want to restate for people who don't visit the Discord a conversation point that came up, which Larry, hi Larry,
Yeah.
said that he quote he felt for real, felt it on the inside.
Yeah.
And that is, I
Felt
do
his
not
mom on the
understand.
inside. Am I right?
I don't understand. I mean, even if it's a magic arrow, sure. Even if it's an Amazon, how exactly we fired an arrow, a manually fired arrow that flew miles,
Don't
many
forget the
nautical miles.
prayer before firing the arrow.
Right. Oh wait, so we didn't even rip off Gondor Sends for Aid. We both ripped off Gondor Sends for Aid and Steel Friend, bow that I have always trusted before we shoot Smog. Okay, cool. I don't understand how exactly that arrow flies miles and miles without going out and goes through cloud cover, water vapor,
Right.
with
Twice.
no response
Uh-huh.
before it hits a building on the Greek coastline and bursts into a roaring freaking bonfire,
Right.
so that it can be seen on television, because
Oh,
because clearly the mascara knows what the fuck a television is.
right.
So that Wonder Woman might see it, and this is the signal we use
Oh,
to tell
because
people.
you sound like you've never seen Guardians of the Galaxy. See, Zondu not Zondu. What was his name?
Yondu.
Yondu.
Yeah.
He made a deal with DC after they killed him off in Marvel.
Okay.
So that's how the arrow did that.
Well, I mean, he
No.
is Mary Poppins, bitch.
Right.
No,
he is Mary Poppins. Bitch.
It's because Zack Snyder's Justice League Marvel movies were totally grounded, but used magic to explain shit that makes
No.
No.
I like Yondu better.
Yeah, but no.
Take your
That movie
explanation
were
and
not
shove it.
grounded. They were
Yeah.
not grounded at all. They
Fair.
started grounded.
Have you
at the
watched
beginning of
Watchmen?
Man of Steel. No. We're talking about his DC movies. They started.
Watchmen is goddamn DC.
Watchmen is Vertigo.
Yeah.
Vertigo
It's
is its
only-
own
it's-
thing.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
Watchmen should
They put
retcon
Watchmen in the
it. No.
mainstream DC universe. Everything is fair game now. Fuck you.
When it was written, it was Vertigo, and
Yeah.
the film only replicates the Vertigo book. If
Yeah.
you want to bring in some of that who killed the comedian next end of New 52 bullshit, you're going to have to wait for DC to actually figure out how to make a movie first.
And also, Jeff Johns is kind of viewed as a persona non grata in Hollywood now. So
Good.
that's probably not going to happen.
What did he do? Let me
well-
amend. What things is he accused of doing?
Well, he helped Joss Whedon.
Who is he
racist to
accused
Ray
of
Fisher.
doing?
He's being accused of helping Joss Whedon be racist.
Well, I mean, we all need.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. Racism is a team sport now.
It is. Everybody needs help being racist.
Yeah.
Haven't you seen those Craigslist ads?
So
Am I the only one that gets advertisements for those ads?
I mean,
Look,
you are the influencer. They want
look,
your influencing dollars.
I get things talking about hot single women in my neighborhood
I mean-
who want to talk to me.
Yeah. Well,
I
the
mean,
hot
sure,
single
they're
women
gonna-
in my neighborhood want to help me be a racist.
I mean, sure, they're gonna ask. Have they left you their calling card on your front lawn?
The big lowercase t that's on fire.
Right, for their tax haven.
Right. Yeah.
Did they send you their comfortable yet gonna get you beat to death clothing?
Yes, the itchy white robes and whatnot.
Well, I mean, they're I want to say from Sweden.
But
Have
I did
have you
get a
not seen the
bag with
joke?
two. I did
you-
get a
have you-
bag
have you-
with two poorly cut holes in it.
No, that's the American way we do it now. It's just like a burlap sack with a pair of holes in it because we can't afford
Yeah, I
fancy
mean,
sofas anymore.
I'm sure someone's wife spent all night cutting holes into bags, but this thing just shoddily made.
Look,
so
look,
now we
Jimmy is a
moved into
treasure.
Django Unchanged.
Look, little Jimmy is a treasure, and he needs a job so he can feel like he's helping.
You're
But-
not helping your alt-right influencer tag that church.
I mean, I'm just saying, I can't help what people leave in the PO box
But
or burn on my
yeah.
front lawn.
The pissed off
But
box.
the other things that I thought of when I watched Zack Snyder's Afterbirth of a movie is
Jesus Christ!
Wait a minute. What is the name of the film? Is it called Zack Snyder's Afterbirth? Because that would almost be interesting.
I was gonna say that probably would have gotten more box office dollars.
so let's say that this was his actual original vision, which I have my doubts, but let's say it was.
Hold on. Who's got a video camera here? I think I can round up some Afterbirth and just eat it on camera, and we can make millions of dollars.
But
We'll just call it Justice League 2.
but how could you have made a Flash movie after basically doing a Flash movie in Justice League? How could you do a Cyborg movie after basically doing anything interesting in a Cyborg movie in Justice League?
Well, I think Marvel
Doing a
understood that, and
Flashpoint.
that's why they did their singular movies before they brought everybody
Well,
together.
Well, there's
Right,
that. There's
but
that.
Warner's not that smart.
Well, that's because Warner also has a fundamental misunderstanding about their property, and it's funny because they're not wrong, but they are wrong.
Yes.
They're not wrong because yes, comic book fans will obsessively watch all the media you put out. Which means if you have a Flash TV series, we will watch that Flash TV series.
I tried to watch it.
Oh,
I
I
couldn't.
tried to watch it, but the point is, I tried to watch it. The thing is that they are also wrong because they fail to understand that if you're going to have TV and movie representation of the same characters, right? They
Should be the
think,
same
okay,
person.
yeah, that's the thing. They think it's like, oh, we'll just have one kid be Flash in the movie and another kid be the Flash in the TV show. No one will notice. No, we did. We do, and we're mad about it. We
That
want our
literally alienated a huge portion of the audience.
we want our Flash movie with the right Flash telling the right Flash story. And if you have two separate Flashes and essentially two separate continuities, and you're trying to hide behind, but multiverse to explain it, you done fucked up.
Let me
Yeah.
let me extrapolate on that for a second because I agree wholeheartedly with you, but I don't know that anyone's going to see that the thing is wrong in my particular way. So,
Okay.
you said multiverse, and I think that Warner has done a really good job in their television angle of creating a fan loved multiverse. Like none of us really enjoyed the CW verse. However, I didn't
wanted to
mind
enjoy
the
Supergirl.
I didn't mind the Flash up until about season 2.5. The Arrow was good up until about season 3. But the thing is like they established a multiverse, and it's actually interesting. But because of that, for the most part, we know all the multiverse Flashes are gonna fucking look like Grant Gustin.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. We're
And
gonna live
and
from a much. Okay.
no, and the second part is
Okay.
that how the fuck are you going to do a Flash movie after a Justice League movie and a Flash television show where all the ideas of the Flash's greatest villains have been solved in a maximum of about an hour and a half?
All right. So let me answer your question first, and then I will talk about what this means for Warner Brothers real quick.
By all means.
The answer to your question is because this abortion is succeeding, and people are believing that Zack Snyder is some kind of auteur, that we just needed to give room to do his thing, that the Snyder Cut is a victory for fans, right?
I believe it's too early to say that.
They're pushing it real hard.
Basically, so they need to have retention.
I believe that if it works, their goal is to do a Flashpoint movie, and then they're going to try and make the argument that because the Flash moves so fast as to upset the multiverse, that all things are true simultaneously. Both that the Flash is all this one kid, and that the Flash is all not this one kid. Like, we're idiots.
So in other words, you're going to say they're going to do Rebirth, but dumber.
Yes. The other thing, what this means for the industry, is I'm going to lift from a much better Warner Brothers film, which it's still, in the fullness of time, we have come to mock and poke fun at, but it's still better than the things we're getting now. And that's Bane. Bane! From Dark Knight Rises. Victory has defeated you. Okay? Warner Brothers was a bad fucking way.
You think you can beat me? You
Exactly.
think humanity could win?
You know,
Warner Brothers was a really bad way. And
Does anybody want to know how I got these scars?
no, my dude. Tom Hardy channeled something special in that movie.
He did. He had fun.
Did he?
But here's
Yes.
the thing. Here's the thing.
He did.
Warner Brothers was in a really bad way in its competition with Marvel even before the Disney buyout. They were hurting. Their successes in the CW, the presumption.
Wait. Step back. Warner never got bought out by Disney.
No. Marvel got up by Disney.
Yeah, but the CW had nothing to do with Marvel.
Warner Brothers owned DC.
Yes.
All right? DC and Marvel have been slap fighting forever.
Right.
Marvel took an early lead before the Disney buyout in the cinematic environment.
They took an early lead in the comics, but they took an early loss in the cinematic environment because DC was doing better with their Batman and Superman films.
Iron Man came out before.
No. I'm talking way before. I'm talking like...
Yeah, that's not relevant here.
Okay.
It's not relevant here because even though Warner Brothers had solid filmic successes, they never capitalized on them well. Right? I mean, they had Batman doing really well and drove it into the ground.
They made billions of dollars with bat nipples, Joe.
They did.
I think they capitalized just fucking fine.
I have bat nipples tattooed
Look, if
on
you're
my
talking
chest.
from the money angle, then yes, they succeeded. But if you're talking about from what we would now consider in a post-Endgame world, the cinematic...
would we shit on it or not? Meter, that's what we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. And what I'm getting at is Marvel took an early lead. So when DC is competing with Marvel in film, that's Warner Brothers competing with Marvel, and now Warner Brothers competing with the mouse. Okay? And in film, in big theater film, they were not doing well. They were really hurting. They were losing bad.
Part of that, and this is just context, but part of that is because when Marvel was about to go bankrupt, they sold off the rights to Fox and Sony and several other companies for their, intellectual property.
We know how we got there, but what I'm getting at is that their successes in the CW, Warner Brothers' successes in the CW, and the presumption that they had one television because the CW was succeeding, whereas Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the extended Marvel television universe is kind of.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the what are the fucking the Inhumans? That was garbage.
Yeah, and don't even ask about Cloak and Dagger. It hurts to watch.
That didn't exist, actually.
I've seen it.
That was the thing.
We bleached that from
was
existence.
the thing.
No, it wasn't.
Basically, all the Marvel shows on Freeform were terrible.
Don't let them
My-
lie to you, chat. Like,
My
Cloak and
point
Dagger
is-
never happened.
My point is, that Warner Brothers thought they had solved the metric, that they had a magical formula to success, that they could just replicate everywhere. And then they tried to take that to film, and it didn't work. And they're still confused as to why it didn't work. And there's a bunch of reasons. Not just because different mediums and different audiences. There are a bunch of reasons. One of those reasons is literally Zack Snyder. Another one of those reasons is the idea that they think that they can make directors interchangeable, which is not just Joss Whedon, but their approach, where it's like, well, instead of having a codified, cohesive narrative, we're just going to have different directors do different set pieces that are going to be good. And it's like, yes, sometimes you get a Joker. Sometimes you get a Shazam. Those are, if not great, at least profitable, deemed somewhat successful. But then you also get a Suicide Squad. You get a Man of Murder. You get
Aquaman did good. Aquaman also did good.
Aquaman was fucking retarded.
I mean,
It was a
divisive
horrible movie.
exists. The question is whether it was profitable from a business angle. The fact is, it didn't fail.
And it did good business in China.
Wonder Woman and,
and that's-
Aquaman are undoubtedly DCEU success stories. But anytime, like,
Wonder Woman was terrible. That was
it wasn't.
a god awful movie.
Calm down.
No, it was Captain America, but with World War I and a chick.
Yeah, it was Captain America with a hot woman in a skimpy outfit. Oh wow, I can't believe that did well at the box office.
I'm actually gonna make a very controversial argument. She's not Butterface. She's not awful, but I am not attracted to Gal Gadot at all.
It's okay to be wrong, Joe. We accept you.
No, she's attractive until she opens her mouth and starts talking.
No, I mean,
I don't
my-
understand what the fuck
I
that
didn't
bitch is
find
saying.
her attractive in passing. She lacks those things that I personally find attractive. So I don't understand the. Well, she's dumb, but she's hot. It's like she's
She's
not
not
that
even
hot.
dumb. I think she did
No.
really well with Wonder Woman.
No, she's not dumb.
No.
I can't
People
deal
think
with
she's
that
dumb are
accent.
specifically trying to say that her usage of English language as Wonder Woman is like not the best, and the thing is that doesn't matter, right? Like it honestly doesn't.
That was kind of weird, yeah.
But they're
Again,
also
go watch early '80s Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
exactly.
Right.
But then they're like, but she hot. It's like, she's not that hot either.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
just
to
like
be fair,
saying I'm
Larry,
just Garofalo, okay?
early-
that's my please.
shit, I want to get what's her fucking name from the '80s TV show back on. Let's get her as Wonder Woman. She's still hot.
So the original Wonder
Linda
Woman.
Carter.
What-
She was.
Yeah.
She was in
Yeah, she
Wonder
was
Woman
that- yeah, I
1984
know.
of Rape.
I know, and she was still hot.
Yeah.
No, see,
I know that she has passed. I believe she's passed, but like
Linda
Eartha
Carter?
Kitt? No.
Oh,
Eartha Kitt is
Eartha
still
Kitt.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She might not have the physicality to be Catwoman, but you can still sell me on Eartha Kitt is Catwoman. Halle Berry, not so much.
Yeah, Halle Berry. No. No, you
No,
might could
see,
probably still sell me on Michelle Pfeiffer if you put enough makeup on her.
But
no.
They-
See, the thing with the thing with Wonder Woman is they
Hey, thanks,
they cast
Blackout.
her and what's up, Blackout? But so she has a very distinct accent, right? And in the Justice League movie, they tried to have every single chick in Themyscira imitate that accent, and they failed miserably. And halfway through the big bit where they spent way too much time on that goddamn island, the actresses stopped using the accent and went to just talking.
Wait, so
like
you're saying the
American.
DC copy Marvel again? Because Wanda Maximoff lost her accent between two movies.
Wait, well, yes, that's
but
exactly what happened.
Although, to be fair,
They-
Wanda
they-
Maximoff losing her
they try-
accent because she's spending a lot of time in
they-
America with Americans makes sense.
Not between two movies.
You know, they try to do the Eastern European.
I'm just saying,
Jewish
like,
accent,
it's
and then
easy
halfway
for
through the
kids.
movie,
Like,
they
if
just start talking fucking normal.
No.
well,
no,
here's
no,
the thing. Go ahead.
thing. I am of Irish descent. I have never been to Ireland. I do not have the knowledge of Gaelic, and yet I have been in conversations with people from Ireland with the strong accent. You pick it up. Pick it up really fast.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing though. Like as adults, it's harder to drop that kind of shit consciously
Oh, certainly.
than it is with kids. If it would have been a child Wanda Maximoff heading to America, and then we're reintroduced to an adult Wanda Maximoff going like in America for a long time, and she doesn't have the accent anymore, that's acceptable.
I mean,
But we're getting off topic. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
DC copied Marvel again. That
So-
was the joke.
that at the same time, we are talking about Wanda, who has some element of telepathic capacity.
No,
You
not
literally-
not at that. Not continuity wise. There, she had no control
Not-
over her powers.
We don't know how much.
It could have been an
stuff-
unconscious thing. You're right. I'll give you that.
But
So
yeah.
let's circle around to another interesting aspect of this movie. Is
Which movie? We've talked about like 8 in the past 2 minutes.
we're back to Zack Snyder's Afterbirth.
Can we just?
Oh,
talk
okay,
about-
Afterbirth.
So why didn't they just make the anti-life equation their own version of the Infinity Stones? Because I mean, you're going to do that because you're going to want to do a big dark side picture in one of these movies.
But again, you're assuming effort.
Well, no, I mean I'm not assuming
They
effort. I'm saying
they
why
tried to
didn't
make the
they?
mother box a Tesseract, so they kind of did.
Right,
Because
but that's dumber. The mother box was just basically like a cell phone for those people.
because lack of effort. Minimum effort is to just have it exist. Well, what is it? It's a big sign we drew on the Earth. Right. So why does Darkseid need to even cover the planet? Exactly.
Let me postulate a theory.
Done.
Let me postulate a theory. I bet in the earlier version of the Wonder Woman 1984 script, instead of there being the magic wishing rock, Maxwell Lord got his hands on part of the anti-life equation.
No. No, I'm 100% certain that it was literally magic wishing rock because DC has not evidenced, even Schneider between films has not evidenced the nuance of strongly interconnected continuity. The fact that in Dawn of Justice they happen to use Man of Murder as an excuse to get a the name of the giant space baby has fallen out of my brain because I hate the death of Superman. The death of
Giant
Superman story is so stupid.
Doomsday.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Doomsday. Doomsday is a giant space baby in the comics.
Yeah.
The fact that they used the Kryptonian technology to get Doomsday in Dawn of Justice is almost coincidental.
Well, I mean, I don't
Right.
even understand how they made that. How they decided, hey, let's just drop a Kryptonian dead body in this birthing pool and see what happens. And Lex Luthor seemed to know what would happen, but I don't know why.
Because the plot demanded it. It actually had nothing to do with foresight. And that's what I'm getting at, is that these people don't think about what the pieces mean when they move them around. They just throw the pieces at the wall. Which means that if you ask the question, not an unreasonable question, do you think that they considered using the anti-life equation? No, because why would they ever think about actually using the anti-life equation for anything except Darkseid? Because you could say the same thing about, well, why didn't he just get his hands on a mother box, right? Or
I mean,
why don't we?
Actually,
Or why don't?
what's funny is
Why don't we use this as a mechanism for introducing a Eclipso?
right.
Right?
Well, here's the actually funny part: the whole dumb scene with Jared Leto, which is one of the stupidest things in the new Justice League Afterbirth. It's because Joker somehow had access to a mother box.
Sure.
No, that is what Zack Snyder said was the whole point of that sequence.
That's what he's saying, but it's also an excuse. It's a contrivance because they're trying to they're trying to recoup losses on Suicide Squad. They need to make Suicide Squad sound like it was genius, and you just didn't understand
Actually, I think it could possibly be a
it.
contract
I'm sure.
with Leto.
I'm sure it is.
I think that contractually obligated to a certain number of Joker appearances.
But now they can't get rid of him either, because they can't let themselves be seen to fire him as a mistake, because it would be embarrassing for the movie company, and that's what a lot of these decisions are about.
Yeah.
Is be seen to lose face in front of the fans. They'll know.
Even though everybody who works in the movie industry basically says, "Yeah, we don't know what we're doing. Nobody has any idea what we're doing. It's basically trying to control entropy." That's what a movie production is.
And now that being said, just because it's into this, I know why the plot for Wonder Woman 1984 was garbage and bizarre, and people will never put this together, and they probably won't agree with me, and that's fine. And it's because there was this little movie way back in the 80s called Supergirl.
I have a soft spot in my heart for Supergirl.
Oh no, I remember watching that film as a kid and thinking, "Oh, this ain't half bad," as a kid. But I will fully admit that the entire plot makes no sense and hinges on magic for no reason, because Wonder Woman has to fight a magic bad guy because she can't just fight like a supervillain.
Well, there's several problems, but yes, it has.
And the thing is that Wonder Woman in '84 is kind of the same thing. It's like, who's she gonna fight? Chitara? Is she gonna fight Ares? Is it gonna be something big? It's like,
no. She already fought Nigel Thornberry in the last movie.
I'm just saying that it's like, well, no. This has to be a much smaller scale film. We're gonna have Lord, maybe. Okay, and like, what are they gonna do? It's like, well, we're gonna have a story about a magic rock and wishes. Quite frankly, at some level, like, if I was Gal Gadot, I would have been insulted and been like, wait a minute. So
she was actually an executive producer on that movie,
and that's what I'm saying.
So she was in the room when that decision was being made,
right? And I'm saying she should have been smart enough to be insulted. Okay, Jason Momoa goes and gets a film where he fights a dude in a laser-mounted helmet, right, for control of a kingdom with violent duels and, water monsters done by a horror director who knows what he's doing. Right?
I was actually getting pissed off thinking that no one else thinks Wonder Woman 2 should have ended with Maxwell Lord lookalike Donald Trump guy being decapitated during his live broadcast. Well, I mean, that's a real thing that happened in the comics, and it kind of like made Wonder Woman grow as a character.
But then what does Gal Gadot get as a film? She gets a fucking fairy tale masquerading as a superhero film. And
right.
I'm still trying to understand why she's wearing gold armor that makes her look like Hawkgirl.
Well, if DC was smart, they would have looked at it, and they would have realized that they would have been emulating the Batman Dark Knight saga if they would have had Wonder Woman end the second movie, which would have been a prequel film, albeit. Or would it have been? The second Wonder Woman would have been a sequel, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because it did happen after the original Wonder Woman movie, right?
Yep.
So the second Wonder Woman movie is her kind of becoming this dark anti-hero type character who cuts a man's head off on live television and has to go into hiding as a private investigator who wears black leather.
But
only to be able to redeem herself in the third movie. And you would have had an entire Dark Knight trilogy kind of thing going on. But no, it had to be a magic rock.
Well, it's not just that. It's a fundamental misunderstanding about Wonder Woman. I don't care for Wonder Woman, but I'm fully aware that following the track that they did, what they have emulated is not, say, Dark Knight, a much better film series. No, they've emulated Bryan Singer's Batman or Superman Returns.
Which could have been good, but they screwed it up in key places.
Could have been good.
Wait, was that Gene Hackman Superman, or
no? That was Kevin Spacey.
That's because the director didn't have a pool party with a bunch of underage.
Wait, Gene Hackman and Kevin Spacey aren't the same person?
They're not. No.
Well,
shit.
But the reason I bring it up, though, right? Like, the key reason is that film operates on the thesis that Superman went away for 30 years
for no real reason.
for no real reason, and so on. So
And abandoned pregnant Lois.
right. So then we look at Wonder Woman. It's like, okay,
Fuck yeah, he did.
you're Wonder Woman. You just ended World War I. What do? Oh, I disappear for 40 years. Okay.
What?
It's now 1984. You've just saved the day. You just solved a bunch of problems. What do? I'm going to disappear for another 30 years in a million life. It's like, this doesn't work.
I'm gonna smoke some rock.
There's so many things about Wonder Woman 1984 that don't work.
Right.
The big problem is that Cheetah should have been the central villain because she's Wonder Woman's other major villain after Ares.
Right.
The only other major villain that anybody knows anything about. But they didn't want to have two women fighting each other in our current climate.
Right.
So they had to have a male villain split the role with her.
Even though,
Why not a male cheetah?
here's the thing, though.
Be progressive, people.
No, you can't have a male cheetah because then a man's going to punch a woman on screen, and that's bad. But
Yeah.
that's the problem, is that if you
That's
then go
bad.
back...
Yeah, but they're already the bad guy.
Wait a minute. If we go back 30 years, you have this little film called Judge Dredd that everyone makes fun of for being terrible. But
Because it was.
Wait, are we talking Stallone Dredd or are we talking the new Dredd?
We're talking Stallone Dredd.
Oh, well, shut your fucking whore mouth. That was an amazing movie.
Wait a minute. We had a female judge fighting a female bad guy, kicking the shit out of each other, and no one batted an eye. So we actually know that females can fight, and it's okay.
Right, but it's not okay now because that's actually objectification of women, which is wrong.
It's only objectification if you don't like it when they get in the jello pit, Larry.
See, yeah, I want my comic fights to be like horror movies. And they go, what do you mean, Joe? Because the obvious answer, if you don't want people to objectify Wonder Woman and Cheetah fighting, make it fucking brutal. And I don't mean brutal in a slap fight kiss ass kind of way. I mean like break their arms and smash their faces. I want to see blood.
You mean a Hammer film sort of way.
Joe's just trying to get his own kinks out. Calm down, Joe.
But so I mean, you have that first problem is you take there should be one antagonist to Wonder Woman that's a parallel story, and instead we split into two antagonists that are sort of a parallel story but not really.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
And so to get Cheetah to the fight, you basically have to reboot Cheetah in the middle of the movie, so that makes it three antagonists.
Actually, you know what's extra funny about this? Yet again, Bruce Timm did this story better in an animated feature years ago.
Yeah,
because in my brain, the actual Wonder Woman 1984 storyline that would work, right, for a pre-superhero world where there aren't a bunch of people running around to save the day, would be to do a variation on that 2-part Justice League episode where the renegade Themysciran is stealing chemical weapons and has released a virus that's going to kill all the men.
Yeah.
Right? Do that story, have Wonder Woman save the day, and then go into hiding. And when people say, well, why weren't you here to stop Doomsday before now, or stop Darkseid before now? It's like, I was in hiding because Themyscirans were a dishonored people, and you didn't want to know we were...
Right, but I mean that's all tied to the fact that Zack Snyder said, "Oh, well, we were in hiding for some reason."
Yeah,
which was a bad decision. But also in Wonder Woman 84, we need to have Chris Pine back in this movie because Chris Pine is popular. People like him, and they liked his chemistry with Gal Gadot. So how do we bring him back? He possesses somebody.
I actually do not understand Chris Pine's popularity. It makes no sense to me. Because
women find him attractive.
Every movie he's in, including this one, he has an orange face and looks jaundiced.
Again, women find that attractive. How do you think our former president had so many porn stars?
I understand how it is
Preach.
That in every movie they think that desaturating and then like color adjusting to make him look worse makes him sexy. I don't get it.
But yeah, so The things that fascinated me about the Afterbirth movie were all of the ideas that were clearly rammed down people's throats by the studio, saying, "Well, we have to have something related to Darkseid in this
You mean
movie."
like Martian Manhunter?
Yeah.
Shoved straight up
Can
our collective asses.
Can we get like Seth or not Seth Rogen, not Seth Green, Seth Rogen? Can we get Seth
No,
Rogen?
Seth Rogen.
Can we get Seth Rogen on the phone? Because he's the guy that did the interview, and he did The Room, and I would love to convince him to do a movie called The Afterbirth about the behind the scenes of the Justice League movie.
But I mean, he did something that's an afterbirth of the Justice League called The Boys.
That is not a afterbirth of Justice League. That is an afterbirth of The Boys, which is a comic I don't care for.
Which is an afterbirth of the Justice League.
No.
It's literally a parody of the characters from the Justice League.
Yes, but that's not the point. The main characters are not the Justice League. The main characters are a group of smart talking, Cockney-flavored murderers by Garth Ennis, who hates fun. The only thing Garth Ennis
They do hate fun.
The only thing that Garth Ennis ever did that was worth a damn was Punisher, and even then, I wish he'd keep his politics the fuck out of my book about shooting bad guys.
I mean, I liked him better in Hitman, personally.
Garth Ennis?
Yeah. Or am I confusing Garth Ennis with some other British comic book writer?
Yeah, but Hitman is a video game series and movie.
No. I'm talking about the Hitman comic book.
I am not familiar with the Hitman comic. I'll have to take your word.
I mean, British people are all the same.
I'm saying I don't know it.
No. It was a very influential comic in the 90s, which led to him getting his Punisher run.
Okay, so that would make sense.
And it was a major DC character in the 90s because superheroes shooting people with guns was cool in the 90s. Just ask Zack Snyder.
Right.
Apparently, it's still cool.
Oh, did you see one of the latest stupid things on comic book Twitter that came out? Somebody said more people are upset that Captain America is going to be gay than they were upset that he was going to be that he was a Nazi.
Oh yes.
I don't think that's true.
Well, no, it's not true.
Yeah,
It can't be true because people that cared about Captain America being a Nazi no longer read comic books.
Well, what's more, I presume it's actually the same people that are going like, man, if I was going to pick up a Captain America comic now, I'm certainly not. You should, anybody that was thinking, hey, maybe they learned their lesson, is now like, nope, I'm clearly not going to buy comics for another 10 years.
By the way, did you guys talk about gay hobo Captain America?
Yeah. And the fact that he has fucking Captain America tattoos on his arms, which are exposed while he's in costume. How the fuck do you protect your secret identity at that point, you goddamn fucking degenerate?
The source of my agitation is still why exactly anyone thought that what we really needed was a Captain America on the rail. A train-based Captain America.
Because there's a gay hobo subculture.
It doesn't matter. Because trains are no longer the primary mode of conveyance nor the primary imagery of freedom in America.
Well, they're not talking about freedom. They're talking about it because of hobos.
My point is, though, is that even on the trains where they have hobos still, the hobo culture is not the hobo culture of the 50s. It's not
right, but they're not talking about the hobo culture of the 50s. They're talking about gay hobos. And him being the Captain America of the rail is a reference to him being gay and getting gay sex.
Wait, so you're telling me this is not a thing about literally a Captain America who rides the rail from end to end of the country but righting wrongs? It's literally a Captain America who wants to get railed, and that's the joke?
Yes.
That's about a billion times dumber than I gave it credit. Ow, my fucking...
And basically, this guy's basically a real-life superhero, the way they're writing him. And they're making that a whole comic book in a 5-issue series.
See, because the thing is that 30-ish years ago, There was this guy
Back
called
in
Nomad.
my day.
Back in my day, there was this guy named Nomad who was a failed Captain America, right?
Hold
And
up. I got one better for you. D-Man, who was a failed sidekick of Captain America, who was gay and homeless.
but the reason I bring up
He was
Nomad
homeless.
is that
And also, wasn't Captain America Nomad himself when he kind of got disillusioned with American politics?
Originally.
But I'm
He was talking about the next Nomad.
Yeah,
Oh.
the next Nomad. And the thing is that he ran around in a long coat with long hair on a motorcycle with a kid who was his version of Bucky, a little baby in a carrier with a shotgun. The baby didn't have a shotgun. Nomad had a shotgun. But the point is,
Wait, the baby didn't have a shotgun? I'm out.
It was very 90s, and the idea was that he was going across this great land on a motorcycle, which is much closer to the modern imagery of freedom and exploration,
Mhm.
of wandering in America today.
Mhm. But you know what's even more about the imagery of freedom and exploration? Riding the different kind of rail.
Being a gay guy that jumps on deck. Okay.
There in my home state, in a city not too far from mine, there was an IHOP on Cox Avenue, and they answered the phone, IHOP on Cox.
And I had to remind people when they reminded me about this thing. It says, no, everybody, Captain America wasn't brainwashed to be a Nazi because people tried to say, no, Captain just brainwashed. No, they used the cosmic cube to make the Captain America that we knew and loved for all this time always have been a Nazi.
Right. They rewrote reality, which means that they actually did make him a Nazi.
Fuck yeah, they did.
Reality, and then they rewrote reality not to undo it, but to
make a clone.
To copy the original Captain America, so that you could have two Captain Americas who are simultaneously both a Nazi and not a Nazi.
It's literally what they did to Principal Skinner in The Simpsons in the episode that's popularly believed to have been the end of the golden age of The Simpsons.
Hold on. Is this Schrodinger's Nazi?
No, Schrodinger's Nazi is a cat boy in Hellsing, which is an anime.
I know about Hellsing, the anime.
Yeah.
Oh, Schrodinger, the cat boy. I forgot about him.
Also, Hellsing Abridged is hilarious if you have not.
I have not.
Although still my favorite abridged series is Sword Art Online Abridged.
Hellsing Abridged is superior to the Hellsing anime, and is superior to the uncut Hellsing anime.
All right. So I have a it's almost like a 2-vote requirement before I'll watch anything that's suggested to me. I'm just gonna throw these titles out there without any context, and I'm gonna get you guys to weigh in on them. Ayrton, I already know you don't.
We have to.
I already know you don't know. You can just continue to be drunk in the background.
All right, I can do that.
So, the first one is Attack on Titan.
No.
Pass.
No.
Hard pass.
Yes.
Okay. So Ayrton says yes, so that's a definite no.
It falls well within the range of overly hyped, extremely popular, middle of the road content.
And
also, if you just avoid it.
And also, it has a sort of Zack Snyder aesthetic where it thinks smarter than it actually is.
Okay. Second.
Okay.
Black Clover.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Stand by. I want to make sure I'm not thinking of the wrong thing.
It's apparently an anime where everything is magical, and this fuck doesn't have magic.
Black Clover is basically like a slightly less dark version of Guts.
I don't even know what the fuck Guts is. I'm not an anime.
The main character from Berserk.
Yeah.
You know that neat thing that people talk about? I'm not that.
Well, I mean, as a for instance, because this is a conversation we're not going to have. I am not for the Berserk.
Okay.
I like music based on it. I do not like the anime, so I'm like not a guts.
Well, hold up. Are we talking about like the original Berserk, which had a good ending, or are we
In
talking
general.
about the redo?
Are we talking
I'm
about
saying,
rapey Berserk? Because that's the only Berserk I know.
No.
I'm of the opinion it's like no, in general.
Isn't
unless I
Berserk
actually
the
see-
rapey thing with like goblin
No.
rape in the very beginning?
No, that's Goblin Slayer.
Oh,
Goblin
okay.
Slayer is
Yeah,
a yes.
we
Check
reviewed
that
that.
shit out.
Yeah,
You made
Goblin
me
Slayer's
read that
good.
shit.
I've had an entire pint of Woodford Reserve since the show started.
So what's
Yeah.
next after Black Clover on your list?
Yeah.
The last thing, well, there are two more things on the list, but I don't give a shit what you think about Dragon Ball Super. I'm going to watch that.
I mean, Dragon Ball Super is fine.
Well, I'm like 4 episodes in, and I love the little doggy guy who hates everything.
The only thing of consequence Dragon Ball Super gave us is Rule 34, and I don't care.
Well, you know the God of Destruction, dude?
Beerus?
Yeah, Beerus.
Yeah.
I love that guy. He's amazing.
Okay.
Beerus is a fun character.
He should have.
what's the other
He's
one?
what Frieza should have been. Anyway, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Does it have an American name?
No, because isn't that the one that's like a spin-off of JoJo?
I have no idea. I
Or
was
am
told to
thinking-
watch
am I
it.
thinking of a different one?
It just sounds F slurry.
I'm checking.
Because I think that was something I saw on Netflix that was like a weird spin-off of JoJo.
No, it's not. But it looks kind of Naruto flavored, which would make me go nah. Lots of weird characters though.
That sounds very
Yeah.
JoJo inspired, and I'm not even a neat to know that.
Yeah, but what's the
I know that all SJWs look like JoJo villains.
I wish.
No, they
We'd be able
do.
to identify them.
No, they do. Apparently, like just look for what they wear at the Grammys.
Then why don't we just put them in the camps and get it over with?
Because we can't do that anymore. It didn't work out well with the Jews or the Japanese.
Whoa, what do you mean? No, I was talking like the Bible camps where they can pray away the stupid.
I think Pence wanted to do something similar where he shocked away the gay.
We're gonna Peter Gabriel them. You shock the monkey, and then they stop being stupid.
Like you can't call them monkeys anymore. This is 2021, for
Okay.
fuck's sake.
Anyway, what was your last offering? What is the last?
No, that was it. That was it. Like I said, I had 4 on there, and you're not going to talk me out of watching Super. So
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't try to. There's the thing. I'm never trying to talk them out of watching something they want to see. Okay,
but everything on that list was suggested to me by the only neat that I know in real life.
Well, because the thing is like I didn't like Dragon Ball. Then I sat down and I actually watched Dragon Ball all the way through the end of the Frieza saga and went, okay. And then
Yeah, once you get past the idea that you came home from school for a week straight for a spirit bomb to happen.
That's the thing is I also didn't watch it in that structure.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was what caused a lot of the animosity. Is that we came home for a week straight and then had to go through a weekend without Dragon Ball in order to get past the spirit bomb. Right.
I still loathe the idea that Dragon Ball has popularized, and it's an anime standard that you can win just by becoming more powerful. Because I hate
It's the American dream, baby.
It's not the American dream.
America, fuck.
Fuck yeah!
So the American dream is to win by not having to try.
Yeah.
Because we no longer believe in that hard element.
No. You have to have the aesthetic of looking like you tried, but getting by with minimal effort. That's the true American dream.
I mean, is that? Because that's not what our president did.
Which president? The real one or the one that's in office?
I mean, he fell up the stairs.
Look, those stairs are tricky, Ayrton. Jesus fell when he was carrying the cross, Ayrton.
The goddamn stairs fucking place because it was goddamn windy out.
Jesus fell carrying the cross. Joe Biden is Jesus confirmed.
So as usual, when you invite me on the show, I derail whatever your original plan was.
Plan.
Do you have any other?
What plan?
Ayrton told me we had a 2-year anniversary, and I was like, I guess we should stream. That was the plan.
So I have a question. Like, how many viewers have you had? Like, it's a high watermark of this 2-year saga.
Oh man, I think it was like 50 something. That was that was the Worski Pan show.
No, actually, I think the biggest viewership we've had on one show is like 70 something, with, or maybe 100 something with fuck. Was it with Poe? I think it was with Poe.
It might have been Poe.
I actually really appreciate that the Gospel of Chronicles of Darkness has actually had 26 views.
Oh yeah.
Because it's in my little window here on the page. The second episode, streamed 3 months ago, has had views. It's like, wait, we had views?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had views. People watched that shit.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, fucking 2 years.
Right?
2 years since I got drunk on Twitter and said, like, yeah, I'll be your co-host.
I held him to that shit, ladies and gentlemen.
Santa Claus is dead.
I called his fucking bluff.
He did, because I was just being a smartass. I was like, I'm not gonna get a response to this.
I was like, you got Discord? Oh, no, download it. I think that was our first interaction with Ayrton.
How I remember is we originally did this shit on Skype.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you were so technologically inept. Like you've literally learned a lot about technology since you started this show.
I really have. I know how to turn on Discord and get into a show chat.
I have read so many shitty comics for you people.
Oh, I read Berserk. I forgot to mention that. So I did have one other piece of material.
Oh yeah, you read Berserk. I read the entire new universe. You fuck.
So did I back when it came out.
Yeah, but you know what I read.
Yeah, but you didn't know it was shit going into it, Larry. I went into it raw, knowing.
I actually enjoyed a lot of the new universe.
I enjoyed about 4 issues of the entire saga.
You know what I enjoyed? Necronomicon.
I hate you.
But like, so did.
I mean, it was no Secret Wars.
Yeah. So Church,
God damn it!
Did you actually read Berserk?
No.
So let me give you my review. Keanu Reeves plays generic Keanu Reeves character.
Right, Barbarian John Wick.
Barbarian John Wick with Wolverine powers, but not as good as Wolverine's.
Because Wolverine's the best there is at what he does.
Right, exactly. And what he does isn't nice.
Yes.
And he's working with the United States military as a top secret agent, so the U.S. military can figure out a way for him to die.
And then someone killed his dog.
No. The dog doesn't get killed in the first comic issue.
Okay.
But basically, this was a comic, in my opinion, that I believe Boom wrote without Keanu Reeves in mind. And they said, hey, you know what? We should totally talk to Keanu Reeves about this.
It's not actually the first time that's happened. That happened with Sam Jackson as well. They were using his likeness in,
Nick Fury.
And just operated on the theory that he would be up for the movie, and he almost sued them. And they were like, look, we'll give you a lot of money, and you get to be Nick Fury. And he said, you know what? Okay.
But here's the thing. He wouldn't have won that lawsuit.
Oh, absolutely not.
If he got in a lawsuit. But also Sam Jackson later did something like that with Boom Studios, where he made a comic book based off of himself loosely.
So I feel like we need to read and review Berserker before Beardzerker launches from Parody Press.
You mean Berserk?
Yeah.
And this circles around to one of the things that happens in Hollywood that completely baffles me: why they can't make a Highlander remake.
Because Freddie Mercury is dead.
Because
Right. You can't get a soundtrack for it.
Hold up. You just re-release the soundtrack because the recording in the studio makes more money that way.
Well, Christopher Lambert can't move like that anymore.
Well, no. What you do in the remake is you have Christopher Lambert play Sean Connery's part, especially now that Sean Connery's dead.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Duncan MacLeod's not that young anymore.
Again, kilts are expensive, though.
No, that's the thing. You get Adrian Paul to play Christopher Lambert playing Sean Connery in the Highlander remake.
Well, no.
Richie's not that young anymore.
Like I was talking to Brian Edward Hill about how stupidly easy it is to make a passable Highlander movie script, and he doesn't understand why they haven't been able to figure it out. There have been several people with clout who've tried to get this movie made, and nobody's able to get it put together.
It's because they secretly think that the second movie was garbage when it's the greatest piece of cinematic history to ever be made.
No. All of the movies after the first one were terrible.
I know. The second movie was the worst thing to ever grace the screen.
No.
Oh, God, no. The second movie isn't even the worst movie in the series.
No, the worst movie in the series is Endgame.
Wait, what?
Yes.
No, that movie had Edge in it. Like, I'm pretty sure that was just a WWF pay-per-view on that they showed on Cinemax.
Yeah, but Edge was barely in that movie. Edge was barely in the movie, unfortunately.
I know, but he was there.
But that movie was terrible because it decided to explain the magic of the Highlander series.
Wasn't Taz the main villain in that movie? I'm pretty sure that was just a WWF pay-per-view.
No, it wasn't Taz. It wasn't Taz because it was a person who actually had normal human height.
Oh, okay.
Like, you would cast Taz as a dwarf in the Lord of the Rings remake, and he'd be the normal height for being a dwarf.
No. No. Highlander 2 did not explain the magic of the Highlander.
No, the Highlander Endgame tried to explain the magic.
No,
Street trash.
You're thinking of the source.
Turbo
the
Test.
source. Yeah, no, the source.
Turbo Tef in the chat says,
"Shh,
Larry.
You're right.
Larry, hold on.
Also,
Everybody, shut up. I have an erection. Turbo Tef in the in the live chat says Street Trash was the best cinematic experience ever. I salute you, sir. Die on that hill.
No. Gay and slurs from outer space.
No, we all know that it's Kung Fury. Okay, everybody, calm down.
Actually, I did not enjoy Kung Fury that much.
Get out of my get off my fucking show. You're fired, RuneKnight.
Have you watched Gay and slurs from outer space yet?
No, I have taste.
No, it's fantastic.
Hey,
and it's on YouTube.
YouTube is so desperate they're putting Neil Breen movies on YouTube now.
I'm pretty sure Gay N-word F slurs from outer space is on YouTube, isn't it, Ayrton?
Right, no, like YouTube is hosting it, not like some rando person. Actual YouTube's hosting Neil Breen movies now.
Wait, really?
I'm sure that's just to appease Red Letter Media, so they'll do more.
But like, it's not that difficult to make a Highlander movie. You could do slight, polish on the lore for the movie because the lore doesn't necessarily hold up to what the audiences are used to now. Most of the actors are from the TV show, would do a cameo. You make Christopher Lambert play Sean Connery's character. You basically add in the ending from the fourth movie, which, while terrible, the ending was at least a decent ending.
Yeah.
And then you redo the first movie.
And you throw some aliens from the second movie in there with gliders, like Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
I think Hobgoblin gliders really sell it.
And also, what you do is you get Keanu Reeves and Nicolas Cage to do cameos as immortals who gets their heads
This
cut
is-
off in the movie.
This is why I
Yeah,
love
but-
Larry. This is why I love Larry, because he just completely no-sells my bullshit.
But how else are you going to get a badge and get certified by the Brown Ring?
Badges? We don't need no
Yes.
stinking badges. Anyway, anybody have any final thoughts? Because it's about time to wrap it up.
It
It's
is.
midnight Eastern.
I do, in fact.
Okay.
Have final thoughts.
Cuts
we
the
were
stream
talking-
off before RuneKnight can finish.
I mean, then you miss out. You miss
That's
out on all
right.
the fan excitement.
That's right.
We were discussing recently, taking the Gospel of the Chronicles of Dark, making it a more regular feature, so that we
Well,
can
doing another episode at least, yeah.
well, right, but also like doing it at regular beats so that it would. If we do that, I feel that we should get like 2 more people
Okay.
at least, so that if one of the 3 of you is unavailable,
Mhm.
we can still have an episode.
So when do you do it?
Once a month?
Yeah, roughly.
Once a month, asterisk.
Yeah.
So long as I could fit into my schedule, I could pop in irregularly. I mean, you're basically playing New World of Darkness, Mortal build.
For now.
And this at least one of these people would need to be able to host a stream, or at least record the show so that I could upload it later.
I'm working on that
Okay.
because the Old Man Gaming podcast is on the way. Although I have been advised I should transform it to the Old Monster Gaming so that it's a different title, but I don't know about that.
No, it should be Old Man Gaming.
I like old man gaming.
Yeah, I like Old Man Gaming.
And the women in Old Man Gaming don't have a problem with it, so.
But like if we do, I could either talk to some of my people about one of them cropping up, or it could be Larry. Hi, Larry. Or
Yeah.
you
Well,
mentioned
they don't even have to stream it if it's not like part of the regular programming, as long as it can be recorded so it can be uploaded.
But then, but Ayrton, you've also mentioned that you have a friend that was like heard our game and was like, "Oh my god, these guys sound amazing," which is bizarre
Yes.
to me. I think they were in the chat earlier. Were they here, or was that? Am I thinking of someone else?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I've had a few people that I know, IRL that have listened to both this show and the Army of Darkness. I was like, man, that was cool. He's really good at telling the stories. You sucked at playing the game, but he was really good at
we need more people to embarrass you.
Right.
All right. Anything else of substance before I close the stream out?
I mean,
Nothing
clearly
of
next
substance,
episode,
no.
I have to have you guys encounter a wizard with a long flowing beard who looks like Helen Moore.
No. You need to have this
much.
encounter. You need to have this encounter somebody, and anytime we talk to him, he puts on his robe and magic wizard hat.
Mm-hmm.
I do have something to point out. Is there's something you should do for wrestling? Is you should watch Ring King.
Okay. I watch WWE
I
Fastlanes. I feel like I've been punished enough. Is this good?
So imagine, if you will, TNA wrestlers going to India to run a promotion in India for a whole TV season in India. Scott Steiner running into the crowd and chasing down random fans trying to hurt them.
It really just sounds like an episode of Cops that never got aired because Vinnie Mac paid him off.
I mean, it just sounds like Zack Schneider having a Friday night.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Vince
Scott Steiner
McMahon's
is the
masturbating
most
to this idea. Oh yeah.
Scott Steiner is the most Zack Snyder professional wrestler out there.
If I say goodnight, everybody, is this going to end? And
Yeah,
can I
it'll end.
pass out on my couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, go pass out on your couch.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for anybody who's in the chat. 2 fucking years. God damn.
2 fucking years, right?